0, 1.
Let's get started.
Why is stopping me? Stopping me.
Here we go. Al Romero, buddy.
We're back.
We're back.
First time it took a worldwide pandemic to start a podcast, and this time it took me to get retired in order to get back on the podcast.
It's good to see you, brother.
I'm really happy. I'm happy that we're doing this. I enjoyed it the last time we did it, and I'm glad we're doing it again. How he's perceived.
Yeah.
You know, he's one of those people that don't realize. You know, he doesn't mean to be an asshole, but he just doesn't realize how it's being perceived. So they had at the comic strip every year, they had a Christmas party, and they gave out like fake awards. And one of the awards was the worst act to be on the road with. And the nominees was, what's the name of the group that were duo? Those guys were real pain in the ass. Oh, Smoke and Valley, and Smoke and Valley. And the winner is Peter Fogel. So that's a classic story of Peter, you know.
He's a good comedian. He used to, every time, look, when my friends have a show coming up, I don't know if you noticed this or not, and I'm your friend, I posted on my Facebook page, I want people to go to your show. And he would call me. I was in Miami at South Beach getting ready to go on stage. He calls me, what's going on? How come you never use me? I go, what are you talking about? All these shows you're doing. I go, I'm not doing those shows. Those are my friends. Why are you posting it? Because I want to help my friends. And then would go on and on and on. And then one time I introduced him and I messed up his introduction, and he came up to me and goes, what, the check didn't clear? Because I did like something for him. He did that till death do us part or whatever.
Yeah. He's been very successful with that.
Yeah, it's very good.
Mm-hmm.
But then he messaged me, I'm so sick and tired of the Lenny Travis and Perry Sack and Michael Panzeca show, blah, blah, blah. So I was not in a good mood. So I took the message and I posted it publicly. I took everything he wrote and I put it on my Facebook page for everybody to read it. And, I did what I did. I told him to go fuck himself and I hung up on him.
We're talking about posted something. I posted something on Facebook that pissed off so many people. I've got 2,000 comments.
No.
Yes. 2,000. I'll show you. Let me see if I can find it.
Now, people do that. When people comment, do you have a professional page or just a regular page?
No, it's regular page. No, I have 1.8, 1,800 comments, 1,400 likes, and 187 shares.
Wow.
Yeah.
What was it? I have to hear it.
I put up, let me see. Can you see it? It's like, I did a comparison between the Nazis and the Democratic Party.
It's the Nazi symbol that got all the attention.
No. It's a comparison. I compare the Nazis to the Democratic Party. Telling
you how the algorithm worked. So when they picked up the Nazi symbol, I'm telling isn't that one of your highest posts? I bet.
The highest. But I had 187 shares. That means a lot of people are all seeing it in somebody else's feed too.
But I guarantee you what grabbed it was the swastika.
Well, what people are pissed off is that I'm comparing the Nazis to the Democratic Party, and all the Democrats came out like, typically insulting me,
What does it say?
Okay, it says, my caption was, look at this comparison and tell me who the real fascists are. And then you have the Nazi swastika on one side and the Democratic Party insignia on the other. And he says, socialism, gun control, control the media, censorship, abortion, worship the covenant, worship the covenant, encourage violence, encourage violence. Comparing the two. And I'm still getting it. I have 17 messages waiting for me to read. I mean, it's going to go over 2,000.
Why do you do this?
Well, to tell you the truth, and I have to admit it, I like to piss them off. I do. This whacked out liberals spend so much time insulting conservative and trying to get into conservatives under their skin that I figure, okay, well, I'm going to turn the tables to them and do the same thing to them, and they go berserk. They go wacko, man. But this is the one I've never gotten this much response.
How many friends do you have on Facebook?
About 2,000.
Does it ever go down? Do you ever,
Not really. I mean, I really don't keep. I don't keep track of what is going up and going down. I used to friend everybody, and then I realized that was a mistake. So now I don't. I don't accept friend requests from everybody. I used to. If you friended me, I accepted everybody, but not anymore.
The best part for me was when Biden was running. Look here. I started out like this. I watched CNN. I was a Democrat. My family's Democrat. My dad is a union president. All my uncles are blue collar, union workers. And I always thought the Democratic Party was the party of the people and the average man.
But he used to be. I used to be a Democrat.
Yeah.
Listen, I've only belonged to one party, and that's the Democratic Party, and then I became an independent. I was a Democrat. I believed in what the Democrats used to believe, but that party doesn't exist anymore.
And then I was watching CNN. I kept watching it, and every time something would come up, they could be talking about the moon, and they would say something like, "Well, the solar system is very racist." I'm like, "What? How
highways? Remember when they said that some highways were racist?
Highways, math is racist." I think it all started back when they started changing tests, because I understand cultural differences, but when we start changing the expectation to meet our perceived ideas about a culture or a group of people, we're not helping them. Anyway.
No, so how can you help people when you send them to the lowest denomination?
Yeah.
I mean, when you expect the least of them and don't ask any more than the least of them and reward them for achieving the least, so everything breaks down.
It would always kill me how I would post something on Facebook and I wasn't being loyal to. I'm not loyal to any particular group of people. I'm more like Bill Maher with, if something is bullshit, I'm gonna say it's bullshit, and I don't care. I guess I'm more of an independent too. But people would come on my page and call me a racist.
I know.
Just for disagreeing.
But you can't disagree with these people. These people, that's why I call them, I made the comparison. They are the real fascists. They're the ones that don't want you to express your opinions or say anything, because if you say anything, I automatically want to categorize you as being a misogynist or a homophobe or a racist, because what they're trying to do is marginalize you. They think that by calling you this name, they can shut you up, And I tell people all the time, I said, this is the two things that I tell people when they attack me. I said, what we have here is a classic case of mistaken identity. You have me confused. Somebody gives a fuck what you think.
Yeah.
If that doesn't, but I said, you know what? I'm actually glad that you are writing to me, because what I would like, I copy this from Ricky Gervais. I said, I'm glad that you're writing all this, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to go now, print everything you wrote to me and wipe my ass with it. Which is what Ricky Gervais did in one of his shows.
Do you think a lot of these protesters are a lot of paid people?
Oh, yeah, of course they are. Listen, what do you think that people get the money from? What do you think? These people are totally organized. They bring stuff there What do you think they're getting? Do you think it's all spontaneous? Just organic? Bullshit. It's not. George Soros and his ilk are the ones that are financing all this thing.
You know who I feel bad for though, and I always did is Joe Biden and what they did to that guy. He didn't know what was going on.
Totally, completely clueless. Did you see? Well, you saw the book that his wife wrote, Jill.
Yeah.
I mean, so on one hand, she's saying, "I thought he was having a stroke." The next time, she's taking it, instead of taking it to the hospital, she's taking it to a Waffle House. I mean, these people they're deranged. They don't make any sense. And what gets me is they say these lies with such a straight face, and they expect you to believe it. Did you see that clip right after the debate where she's standing there? He's standing there like a 5-year-old kid with his eyes, glazed, and she's saying, "Joe, you answer every question. You were great." What? I mean, the whole world saw the guy falling apart in front of everybody. And she's telling everybody, "You did great. You answer every question." She's talking to him like he's a 5-year-old kid.
Child, yeah.
It was embarrassing.
What was it? Where was he when he started wandering off into the woods? Like he just
He's
walked.
done that. There's several clips of that where he started walking around and people have to come back and get him and point him in the right direction. The man was, listen, it was sad. I mean, it was really sad. The guy suffered from senility, it's obvious.
And he was actually he was a good guy. He served his country.
He was not a bad guy, but
Yeah.
Joe Biden had the reputation of being a backslapper and an empty suit.
Yeah.
He was the guy that everybody liked because he was friendly to everybody. He's backslapper. He's slap everybody's back and tell everybody how great he was. But look at his history in the Senate. Not one single legislation that he proposed that meant anything.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Well, what many things blew me away was when Kamala Harris in the debates when she was running against him, called him a racist.
Yep.
Because of busing or something, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Then
he made very what in today's standards is considered outright racist remark. He said that the busing was going to turn schools into a jungle. He made some really, really what we consider today racist remarks.
And then he gets the nomination, and he says, "I'm going to pick a black female as my vice president."
Yeah, because that's the criteria. It's not qualification; it's race and ideology.
But is it
get picked?
The definition of racism?
Of course it is. But they're completely oblivious to it. They are the racists. They bring race into everything. It doesn't make it different what the conversation is. Race is always brought into the mix. It's not because they are trying to help people. It's because they know that it's a key word and something that you can use to marginalize your opponents.
But I also think they're wrong. I think even black people are tired of them being like, "Don't defend me. Like, I don't need you to fix things for me." Like, they're not. It's what I see is a bunch of white people who feel guilty or feel entitled, or they have a lot of privilege, or I think they feel like they don't have any purpose in life.
No, I call them self-hating Americans, is what I call them.
Yeah.
They hate the success of this country. I don't know why, but they do. They feel guilty that they're white and they maybe had a privileged life, But what really gets me, and I've been accused that I'm a minority. I'm Cuban American. Of course, Cubans are conservatives, so we don't consider a minority. We can't. In order to be a minority, you have to be a liberal. If you have conservative, automatically you're not. You're a race traitor. That's why they call people that disagree with a liberal line. But I wrote to a guy once and said, There's nothing more precious than a lily white guy telling minorities how they should act. I mean, I've seen these protesters, white women, screaming at black guys, calling them race traitors. Where the hell do you get the balls to call a black man a race traitor when you're a white woman and you don't know shit about being black?
How much of it do you think is just a mental health issue?
Well, it's a combination. Listen, it's a combination of mental health issues. It's a combination of people that are doing it for the money. Is the typical useful idiots, the people that think that they're doing something good, and they're being used by the people that are manipulating them, and they think they're fighting the good fight, and they're just being used and manipulated. Listen, I saw it in Cuba, even though I was a kid. I wrote a book about it, about what happened in the revolution. I saw what they do, how the socialists and the communists, the tactic that they use, how they manipulate people and then convince people that they're doing it for the right cause, which is complete opposite of what they're trying to do.
Yeah. I don't understand. So, and the Republicans were the ones that fought against slavery.
The Republicans were the ones that fought against slavery. The Republicans were the ones that actually it was the Republicans' vote that actually passed the Civil Rights Act.
Yeah.
I mean, it was introduced by Lyndon Johnson, who famously said when he came up with a Great Society that basically enslaved, black families to a welfare check and drove men out of the house because it was more profitable to have kids out of wedlock than to be married and have a father in the home. He said it. If we pass this legislation, we'll have the Negro vote forever. They enslaved black people all over again to a welfare check.
Yeah.
That's what they did.
Why?
Instead of trying to elevate these people to a higher position, to move them from a lower class economic to a middle class, no, they perpetuated them staying in a lower class economic by giving them a minimum amount of money to do nothing.
So, I have two questions. One, if we are such a racist country, now Obama was elected twice, is that right?
Yeah.
How I was proud of that. I remember,
me too. I used to say it on stage.
I was on the ship in the crew bar when he was elected. I got a little emotional, and people were looking at me from other countries, and they're like, "Wow, you're very proud of your country, aren't you?" I go, "Yeah, I am. I think it's pretty cool." And I liked him. I actually read his policies and stuff before he got elected. I really was. I liked him. I liked his wife. I liked his family. I liked him. I look back now. I see how he wasn't so great too. But how could a racist country elect a black president 2 terms in a row? What does that say? That's my one question.
And if we're such a racist country, what if all these minority people are trying to overrun our country and getting here?
And then my second question is, with Donald Trump, everyone was talking about how terrible he was. Then why, if he's so terrible, and the Democrats were so good, and Biden was so good, and Kamala was so good, why did he win?
Because people saw through the bullshit. That's why.
But
people realized that they were being lied to.
But what is their answer to that question?
Well, the answer to the question is that that us minorities were bamboozled, especially Hispanics. Hispanics voted overwhelmingly for Trump. Oh no, we're all stupid. We all got duped. We all got fell for the bullshit, which is the other way around. It is the bullshit that the Democrats have been feeding us for years and years that the minorities have fallen for.
So you say you like posting that stuff on there because you like getting everybody worked up, right?
No, I like to get up certain people worked up. Those people that are getting into my thread to insult me, I'm glad that I got under their skin. Yeah.
What do you like about that?
The fact that they are so righteous and indignatious about what they believe, and then when you challenge them, it shows who they really are. I've always said, you scratch a liberal hard enough, the real fascists come out.
Yeah.
And that's what I do. I scratch him and to show who the real fascists are,
Yeah.
who the real intolerant people are.
So what do you think? What do you think happens at the end of Trump's term? What do you think? Who's next?
Well, right now, everybody likes Marco Rubio. Marco Rubio's doing a great job as Secretary of State, and he's a very good speaker. You ask a question, he give you an answer. He doesn't vacillate. He doesn't give you any bullshit. He answers the question, and if it's bullshit question, he tells you right to your face that's a bullshit question. You know, but Trump would like to see Vance and Rubio as a team.
So what I used to argue with my friends who were Trumpers that when I was still against all that, I thought my biggest problem with him was he's not very presidential. I thought he
Of
was.
course not. Of course not.
I thought he didn't. But then I don't know how you could criticize. I don't understand where this guy gets all his energy. How does he get all this stuff done? I have trouble getting up and going to work, and he's going to this country negotiating. He's doing this. He's doing that. He's doing this. He's doing that. He's doing this. Where does this guy get at playing golf? Where does he get all his energy?
He's 80 years old.
I know.
I don't know, man. He's like the Energizer Bunny. He doesn't stop. And what gets me is now the Democrats who completely ignore Biden's dementia are telling us that Trump is suffering from dementia. A guy that gives every day, he has his cabinet meeting, broadcasted. So everybody can see what's going on. A guy that answers every question, goes in front of the media every day, and they're saying that he's suffering from dementia, but Biden was fine. There was nothing wrong with Biden.
Do you know the history of his family and how his grandparents and his grandfather, great grandfather, and all that, and like how he got started in business and all that?
No, I know from his father on.
Yeah.
His father made money because right after World War II, the government was giving out a lot of incentive to build housing for all the GIs that were coming back from the war, and also for low-income people. And that's how his father made his millions, by building affordable homes outside of Manhattan. Trump, being the big-headed guy, listen, Trump is a narcissist. There's no question about it, and he can be an asshole. There's no question about it, But he's our asshole. Like Dennis Quaid said, he's an asshole, but he's our asshole.
Yeah.
He's being an asshole to people who are trying to screw with us. Believe me, if I want somebody to fight for me, I want a real asshole to be fighting for me. I don't want a goody two-shoes to be fighting for me. That doesn't do me any good,
Dude,
But Trump took the few $1 million that his father gave them, went to Manhattan, which is a very competitive real estate market, and made billions.
Yeah. So what I think his grandfather or great grandfather did was during when they were looking for oil, he didn't get into oil. He got into hotels for the guys that were digging for oil. Like he built hotels for them. Like that's what he did. So let me ask you this. Trump, he does a lot of things I wish he wouldn't do.
Me too. I wish he would shut the fuck up half the time.
I know. I'm always afraid he's that close to going off and saying something completely wrong.
Oh, but look what he did with the Japanese prime minister was sitting right next to him, and somebody asked him about surprise attack. He said, well, the Japanese should know about surprise attack. I mean, totally inappropriate, completely. But at the same time, it's refreshing that you're seeing a guy that is no bullshit. You might not like what he's saying, but he's being true. He's not bullshitting you. He's not lying to you. He's telling you exactly what he feels. And that's refreshing.
Yeah. He does, like, I think he's actually funny. I think he wants to be a stand-up comedian. He
can be very funny. Yeah.
When he does those rallies.
Yeah.
He goes off script completely. Can you imagine?
Totally.
his staff backstage going, "Oh,
They're pulling their hairs out, like, "Oh God, please shut up, please shut up." But they can't control him. He's a force of his own, man. He's like a tornado that you can't stop.
and he's fearless.
Totally, completely fearless. Look
He
what happened when they shot at him.
he keeps, yeah, I know. He stood up, and that
Yeah, he
they,
said, "Fight, fight, fight." Who does that? Who does that after you've been shot?
you're out in the open, and somebody just shot you in the head. Just
Yeah.
stand up.
And he's going, "Fight, fight, fight." I mean, like I said, man, you might not like what they have to say. I believe I cringe. I go, "Oh, God, shut the fuck up." But at the same time, you say, man, at least I'm looking at a politician that is not a politician. He's a real person telling me exactly how he feels. I know exactly where I stand with this guy. I
Yeah,
don't have to try to figure out did he mean this? Did he mean that? You know exactly what he means. You know exactly where he stands. You don't have to guess.
what I actually, when I watched the video of the debate when Biden was really kind of out of it, and he asked the question, and Biden was like lost, and then he said something like, we finally beat Medicare.
He said, "Yeah, you beat it to death."
And Trump's face stayed very serious.
Uh,
Trump almost looked like he was concerned for him. Like Trump stayed serious, and he was like, and then he goes, the moderator said, "So, Mr. Trump, what do you think about that?" He goes, I don't know what he just said. He goes, I don't think he knows what he just said.
exactly.
But
Exactly.
actually kind. Like he did not, that he could have, I thought he was held him. I thought he was very cool about that. And also this last shooting where they came into the correspondence dinner or whatever, they tried
Yeah.
to shoot there, and he had the press conference at the White House. He treated everybody. He just got. They just tried to kill him again, and he goes over there and has a press conference. Um, he was very polite to everyone. I think he actually cares about this country.
Yeah, he does. He is totally pro-American. And listen, if you look at clips of him back in the '80s when he was doing the Oprah Winfrey show, he's saying the same thing back then he's saying today. We're being totally fleeced. They're taking advantage of us, and our politicians are letting them do it. And it's not only our enemies, our own, allies are ripping us off,
Well,
and it has to stop.
Dave Chappelle said that on Saturday Night Live. He goes, "When I saw Donald Trump say, I know I know the tax system is corrupt, and then you know how I know that, because I use it."
Exactly. Exactly. How more refreshing can you be? Have you ever had a politician in your life say something like that?
No,
Of course not. They will not have the guts to do it. And he said it. He says, "Of course I took advantage. What I'm paraphrasing. He said, "What do you think? I'm stupid?" And her supporters, pointing to Hillary, her supporters, the people that give the money to be in this campaign, they do exactly what I did.
yeah,
And you know what? That's why I'm here, to stop it, to change it. But I wasn't going to be, basically what he's saying, I'm not going to be the only virgin in the whorehouse. If everybody's taking advantage of this, I'm going to do the same thing. Now, it's wrong, but I'm not going to be the only stupid guy not taking advantage of this. But if I get in power, I plan to change it so it will not continue to be this way.
yeah. So, and then I think that the Democratic Party seems to be falling apart, because now you got Kamala. She wrote that book, what, 143 days or whatever the hell it's called, where she blames everybody else.
Yeah, of course.
And then you got Dr. Biden, and she's like and then what? Even the guy Jake Tapper, he wrote a book, right?
What a hypocrite. He wrote a book. Oh, the Democratic machine lied to us. Lied to you. The guy's sitting in front of you, falling apart in front of your face, and you need somebody to tell you that he's senile? I mean, a 5-year-old can figure out that the guy's senile. And you're going to write a book saying, "Oh, I've been lied to. I didn't know this was going on." You're an idiot. You're an idiot and an opportunist. You know damn well what's going on.
I'll tell you what, I definitely, I was scared when I thought Biden might win because
God.
I thought the rest of the world would just come take us, just take over our country.
If Kamala would have won, we would have been in big trouble today,
I know,
big time trouble,
I know.
because we were heading right over the precipice. We were going right over the cliff, and Trump stopped it and turned the cart around. But it takes time to undo all the mess that they created, man.
What other reason could it possibly be that he doesn't need this? I think he does care. I think he cares because he does not need this.
I know that. Well, they're saying that they have made more billions of dollars as president than before, which it's very easy to say, but another thing is to prove it, But no, he doesn't need the money. He doesn't need this aggravation. Listen, he's doing it for two things, okay? The egalitarian part of it is that he's doing it because he loves this country and wants this country to be better. And the other one is the narcissist that he wants to, have his legacy. He would like his face in Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to give him a complete pass that all he's doing it is because he loves this country so much, which I believe he does. I think that's a big part of what he's doing. But a big part of what he's doing also is because he's a narcissist and he wants the accolades. He wants both. He wants to save this country and give the credit that he was the one that saved it.
I always wonder what his conversations are like with his wife at the house when he does a speech and he goes off book and she talks to him later. She's got to be telling him you have to stop doing that.
Oh, he said it. He says that Melania, cringes every time he talks. Of course he does. I cringe. I sit there and go, shut the fuck up, please. But again, at the same time, man, it's weird. That's the thing is about Trump. Is that he's such a dichotomy. He's such an enigma because on the one hand, you feel totally almost embarrassed by what he says, and at the same time, you're going, "Holy shit, man! This guy's for real. There's no bullshit. We know exactly where he stands. I don't have to figure out whether he's lying to me or not. He's telling exactly how he feels, and listen, that is very refreshing, man.
Yes. Now, why is that not refreshing for everyone? Why? What is this Trump derangement syndrome? What are they afraid of?
Well, there's a portion of they're afraid that they're going to lose the power. There are those that are afraid that he's going to uncover what all the bullshit that they've been perpetuating in this country for years. And then there are the useful idiots, the one that go, yeah, and you just follow the crowd. They're the egalitarians, the one that really think that they're doing something good. They have the people that the bad actors that are doing it because they want power, and then they're the idiots that are just following the crowd.
When you're out there on the ships,
Yeah, I had to go back to work and make money. I was working. I did 7 cruises one month. I was averaging about 6 cruises a month right after the pandemic. And then it kind of evened out to about 4 to 5 cruises a month. And then last year, I cut down to only 2. And it got to the point that even 2 was I just got burned out. So I decided, enough.
I had to stop doing the cruises, right?
You want to talk about that?
It's a great story, Al.
It is a great story. How many people find a woman in their closet?
The security came and they showed me a picture. Have you seen this girl? Yeah, but she's not here. They're like, do you mind if we come in? And I go, no. And I thought for sure when I opened the door and she wasn't there, I thought she's in the bathroom, but she's hiding in the shower. And the girl goes, no, she's in there. So I opened the door so they can't see, and I go, no, not in there. I closed the door. She was in there. I opened the other one. I let them see. I tried to do a magic trick. And they go, can we open that one again? I go, oh, yeah. And then she was in there like this. I should have went, holy shit, there's a girl in my closet. Man, am I glad to see you guys. She came to my show. She came to all my shows. She loved my show. She talked to me afterwards. Hey, you want to go down to the disco? I got to go see her. I go up there. I'm talking to her. She's wasted. She's trying to make out with me. Then another girl comes over. The two girls are trying to make out with each other and me at the same time. And security, and she was drunk. She spilled a drink, and she wants to go to my room, and I'm like, no, I can't do that. I can't do that. I walked down the hallway to my cabin, which was in a guest area, and she's behind me. And it's like, I don't know, 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. And she wants to come in. I go, who are you cruising with? And she goes, my mom and my brother. But I go, aren't they going to be worried? And she goes,